do you think that the cultural heritage holds people
Well,
back?
I don't know if you were around yesterday when I said, an old Jewish man said, will you permit tradition? That's what he meant by that.
Yeah. That's
I
what
said
I
to
mean.
him, will you? He says, of course. I said, the Ku Klux Klan meets every month for 75 years. Is that okay with you? He says, no. So I said, how do you select which tradition in the future? You know what I mean? What tradition? So he said, well, our tradition is a good one. Well, so does the Klan believe it's a good one. Did you know there were 3 million members of the Ku Klux Klan in America? How many of you knew that? That should be in our history books. They marched in Washington with their pointed hats. 3 million with people waving on the sides. So when I say, let's go back to the good old days, the good old days were more fascistic than democratic. In the old days, you had slavery in America. The Indians were driven to a reservation. Cowboys solved problems by shooting each other. They walked 10 paces, turned around and shot each other.
Yeah.
The good old days never existed. There was no such time as that. And the good old days were the slums of New York City. Terrible place where buildings would catch fire and they had no fire hose large enough to get to the top floor. You know, and crime was rampant. And the American Irish used to fight with the American Italians. So the mafia established a godfather to protect the Italians. And then the Greeks had the Greek protectorate. So when Jewish kids walked through an Italian neighborhood, they walked through with numbers, like 6 kids. Then 6 Italians when they get in a fight. So it was a terrible place, early America. Being 93 years old, I've seen more of America than most of you guys, but I don't want you to take my word for it. You can get books on early America. It's in many books.
Yeah, and in the future there would be books also. It shouldn't.
Our
past shouldn't
on
necessarily
everything,
be forgotten.
even against the system I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Of course.
Yes,
so
of course, because that's the way we learn. You should never be afraid of criticism. When you say you don't want to listen to that guy, he's a communist or whatever, listen to him and you decide that.
So
that would be a democratic society, to me.
Yeah. And if a part of the society would want to keep on to the cultural heritage of their past.
Say they don't want to live in our cities. They can live outside, but they're not part of the co-op. Mm-hmm. We share, all the nations that join together, share resources, knowledge, but with those that don't want to join, do your own thing.
Yeah, okay.
But I think eventually their people will say, let's join up, because we don't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody. They can see, but don't twist their wrist.
No.
Okay. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
You're free to stay in the new society or move out. That's up to you.
It's based.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I don't believe there is such a thing as free will, because that's based on your background.
Yeah.
If you say, I decide to become a Catholic, that means you have the exposure to the Catholic viewpoint. If a guy says, I'm agnostic, it means he read more books and his decisions change. So free will doesn't exist, it's an illusion. Like you ask an Eskimo what he wants, it's a big igloo that's safe. He doesn't say, I want a stainless steel refrigerator. No Eskimo can say that, you know, because that's not in their world.
Exactly.
So
it's a
free will can't exist. You ask a girl in America, what do you want? She says, I want a home, I want to marry a doctor or a lawyer because he can earn a lot of money. Where the hell does she get that from? Now, a girl brought up in the Arab world says, I'd like to be part of the sheikh's wives, the 6 wives. I'd like to be number 1 wife in that group. Is that free will? There's never free will. When they raise you, you want to be a doctor. When I was a kid, you could be a spaceman, not a spaceman, policeman or a fireman. That's what we want to be, or a cowboy. Now, kids want to be space astronauts. Because the environment's different, the free will can't exist. Because you're always brought up as an Indian, and they wear feathers They dance around the fire. They go la 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 la. If you said to an Indian, it's ridiculous dancing around a fire with feathers. What does that do? The Indians will say, you know, I never thought of it that way. He gets mad at you. So he's saying, don't you have free will? Well, there's free will to wear feathers.
Yeah.
That's the way the Indians brought up. There can't be free will. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a frame
Now
of
you
reference.
can be broad by reading a great deal and traveling a lot and reading many books with different points of view, and you can learn how to say, I don't know enough about which point of view is the most appropriate.
Yeah.
But you can't say, this is the right one. That'd be right for you, because you're brought up as a Lutheran. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why free will is nonsense.
Yeah.
But people are brought up to believe they have freedom of choice.
Yeah.
So when you're very young, you pledge allegiance to the flag, or you do jury duty as if you're a good citizen.
Yeah.
In the Bible it says, judge not, lest you be judged. You know what that means? You don't judge other people. I don't know. When you do jury duty, you're judging other people. So I never had jury. I was called, and never did it. Because I know that a gangster or a thief is no different than anyone else. They're just brought up in a different environment. And they become pickpockets. Now in the Arab world, they chop the hand off a pickpocket.
Yeah.
You know, that's their free will. You know, so it can't be free will.
Yeah.
And your notions of love come from movies, books, whatever. You hold a girl's hand. Now, when you meet a girl, women's values are different than men. What they talk about, tansy, lipstick, shit, most men are not interested in. But they want to get fucked. So in the future, people will fuck first and then go out. Because a guy goes out with a girl because he wants to fuck. No other reason. Well, she's attractive to him. Do you know what I mean? So they take him out, the violin, music, nice, and the girl says, had a wonderful time. That isn't real. In the future, men and women will talk about the real things, not, hey, you're cute.
No dishonesty.
Yes.
Yes.
But we're dishonest automatically
Yeah.
because of the way we're brought up. You don't use that kind of language around girls. Well, girls say, we want to be treated as equals, then say, fuck you. Then you're treated as equal. But if you change your language because your mother is respectable, I mean, respectable people to me are bums. They're not open-minded. To be open-minded, you have to listen to all ideas and reject them on the basis of the fact that it doesn't work, not because you don't like it. If I say if you brush your teeth every day, you won't have any dental caries. Most toothpaste has sugar in it, which injures your teeth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of crap out there, so much of it. That's why the book, 100 Million Guinea Pigs, which you can't find in any library. You might find it on the internet. There's other books called Arms and the Men, showing the corruption of war. Not available. Why isn't it available? Because you can't control people if they know all these things. Do you understand?